Hey y'all, it's Betsy with Happily Ever After Etc. and welcome back to another Pandora video. So today I'm going to be walking you through all of the Pandora stores that I found when cruising Alaska. So my dad and I recently did a 6-day Alaska cruise out of Seattle. We went to Juneau, we went through the Tracy Arm Fjord, we went to Ketchikan, we went to Victoria, British Columbia, and I believe that's it. It seemed like a much longer trip, but it really was only a couple days and there was a few sea days in there. So there were Pandora stores everywhere, it seems like, in Juneau. There are 3, and I will go and take you to all 3 of them, even though the first one is right when you get off the ship in the port, which is always nice. They do have a lot of exclusives in Alaska. So it's not like you go and you get the one exclusive that they have. They have several to pick through. I will show you the one that I got, as well as the ones that they had in the store. And where I can, I will tell you the prices that I was able to find.
Okay, so right when you get off the ship, the first Pandora store is directly across from the port. It has nice big Pandora signs, and every day it lists the ships in port, which is a fun touch. When you come in, you will see the first of the travel exclusives on display here. It is a really cute dangle with a little bear that says Alaska. I really like the dangles, but I'm looking for a button charm. Alaska has great button charms. And here we go. So the first one says Inside Passage. Then there is the Igloo, the Big Dipper, the Whale Tail, the Bear. They did say that while the Inside Passage button charm was $95, the Igloo was $85, and the dangles were $75. They also said that the blue Igloo charm is only exclusive to that first of the 3 Pandora Charms stores, and as you will see here in about 5 seconds, that is not true. So take your research with you, because you know you want to buy what you want to buy, but they are going to try to sell you charms. They're not necessarily going to give you all the information. So here we are in that first charm with the little Eskimo on the front. If you flip that over, it has the Igloo on the back. So there you go. Here is the third store. It is a little counter right inside, and you can see that they are right across from the cruise port. So you can go to all 3 stores, but they all have the same charms. So here is the one I purchased, which is the Igloo, and it says Alaska. The other side is the Eskimo, and of course it has those hallmarks on this side. I think he's a really sweet charm. And I just love all the exclusive button charms because they don't have them a lot of places. So I was pretty tickled to find that Alaska has quite a few.
The next day is the Tracy Arm Fjord. Now this is kind of a catch-22 day, because while it was amazing, there's only one excursion, and it is from the big boat to a smaller boat. There is no Pandora involved. You don't go into a town. This is solely an excursion to go see the glacier, but it is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience. I mean, imagine you could keep going back to Alaska, to the Tracy Arm Fjord, but most people won't. I'm really glad we did this excursion. So while I did not go to Pandora this day and there was not a charm, keep listening, because I did get a charm for this day. The next day, when we ported in Ketchikan. So in Ketchikan, there is one Pandora store. It is fairly close to the port. You can see it from the ship. And once you get to that store, there are quite a few charms. All right, here is the Pandora store. Where you can see our ship right down here, the other cruise lines. Let's see. They've got the summer collection. They're having their sale right now.
here are all the Alaska charms. So let's see if they have any exclusives or the same ones as last time. Hello. Can you show me the Alaska charms you
Absolutely.
have? Thank you. All right, so the gentleman said that the dangles with the animals, the whale tail and the bear, were both 75. The Big Dipper with the Alaska flag was 85. And then the button charms up here, the Inside Passage, the Ketchikan exclusive, and then there's a Ketchikan, the exact same design as on the button charm, but on the dangle heart here, those are all 95.
This was my hardest day because of all the exclusive charms they had, and I mean, look at them, they're gorgeous. I wanted 2 or 3. I wanted one from Ketchikan, but they had one for the Inside Passage, which is the area through the Tracy Arm Fjord, not specifically that fjord, but there are several fjords. There are lots of inside passages, and this button charm says Inside Passage, and it has a little image of a tiny cruise ship going through the fjords on the Inside Passage. And so while I do want a Ketchikan charm, and one day maybe I'll go back there and get one, that Tracy Arm Fjord day going through the glaciers was just such an experience. I could not pass up that button charm. I had to have it. And so I bought that one and forsaked the Ketchikan charms, even though if you've watched the cruise videos from each of these port days, you know that Dad and I did a zip lining and rappelling adventure through a rainforest in Ketchikan. It was also a once-in-a-lifetime experience because I am never rappelling again for any reason. It was so scary. I think it might be the scariest thing I've ever done. I will not be frank in saying that I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I don't mind rappelling. I like to challenge myself to do new scary things. Rappelling was not for me. My dad went upside down and backwards. He was a helicopter pilot. He's been a paratrooper. Like he jumped out of helicopters and planes for a living. So obviously we are not cut from the same cloth. My brother would do it in a heartbeat. He would go upside down. So they got whatever the heck gene that was. I did not. My mom did not. So if you watch the footage of one of our first cruises when my brother and mom and I were all together in the Caribbean, when my brother talked us into ziplining the very first time, my mom had to be pushed off the platform. She screamed all the way down. I will put that on the screen now because everyone should probably see it.
That was too fast.
I get my scary genes from her, so thanks, Mom. Anyways, well, one day I hope to get a Ketchikan charm and go back to a cruise in Alaska. If I do not, I had to have that Inside Passage charm, so that is quite all right. The next day, we went to Victoria, British Columbia, and while it was a beautiful town and we had a great time, we got there very late at night. It's actually a port for the ship to refuel, which makes no sense to me. While the ship needs refueling, you are on a cruise. I think they should find a way to be there long enough for the cruisers to actually enjoy the city. So unfortunately, the Pandora store was closed for our one day in Canada. Luckily, my mom was able to actually pick up the charm I wanted for me on a separate trip, and it is the little British Columbian moose with the little maple leaf on the back of his vest. So those are the 3 charms I picked up from this cruise. There is a store, a Pandora store in British Columbia, very close to the cruise port. I will put that map up on the screen for you. But the trick is you have to go while they're open. So that was not helpful to me. Either way, I love these charms. I love my little moose. He is currently the centerpiece on my European travel bracelet, whereas my 2 Alaskan button charms are in an open bangle with my little whale from the whale watching excursion Mom and I did off the coast of Mexico. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are going to Alaska, I hope this helped you. These are some of the more popular ports, Juneau especially, and Ketchikan is fairly common. I do hope one day we'll be able to go to Sitka and hopefully be able to show you some of the Pandora stores there. But for today, we're done. No more Alaska. So I hope you liked this video. If you want to see where we're going next, follow along below. Spoiler alert, Mom and I are gearing up for an Italy and Greece cruise, and we are buying as many travel exclusives as possible in those ports. So bye y'all. See you next time.
All right, y'all, so real quick before I go, I did want to point out that the Carnival Luminosa that we were on does have a Pandora counter in their ship store. Some of the Carnival ships have this, some do not. I can't seem to find a rhyme or reason to it, and it may not have it any longer, but as of July 2023, these were the charms that were available. It's usually no travel exclusives like the ones you'll find in the port, but you can find fun cruise-related charms or ocean-themed related charms, and sometimes these are a fun souvenir for your trip and a great value depending on the sales. This time they were having a 30% off if you bought a charm on the ship. So hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next video.